Top Trump officials are facing flack in the United States. They unknowingly added a journalist to the chat group on a messaging app. The group included the US Secretary of State, the Vice President, the Director of National Intelligence, and the National Security Advisor. This closed group were discussing plans for an attack on the Houthis in Yemen. It's said to be one of the most sensational breaches of intelligence in the United States. But top US officials have defended this incident. The CIA chief says it was not a breach at all. Signal was one of the chat apps cleared for use. It is US developed and the data stays within the US. It might not be the best defense, but they have a point. All of these platforms are owned by US corporations. Their data stays within the US. Now, the US banned TikTok last year because they felt their data was not safe with this Chinese-owned company. And this is also the reason that India banned Chinese apps in 2020. But this incident, this breach of security in the US, is a good time for us to examine India's own digital infrastructure. Now, let's ask some questions. What's India's most popular messaging app? It's WhatsApp. Who owns WhatsApp? It's Meta, a US media company. Our most popular social media platforms? Instagram, Facebook, and X, all American companies. What's the default setting for all Indian operating systems? It's Microsoft, another American company. What's the default search engine? It's Google, another American company. Which means that every single social media app, computer operating software is of American origin. Now, why should this be a problem? Well, in 2013, Edward Snowden, a whistleblower in the US National Security Agency, the NSA, revealed that the US was running a global surveillance architecture that spied on friend and foe alike. Now, if Snowden were to be believed, the US is the unknown person in all our chat rooms, listening in to all our chats and conversations. What's the alternative, you may ask? Well, India needs to develop its own digital public infrastructure, which means we develop our own social media apps and operating software. Take the example of India's Defense Ministry, which has started replacing Microsoft Windows in favor of the Maya operating system. Maya is an indigenous system. It's based on the open source Linux software. There's another operating system called the Bharat operating system, or Bhar OS. But these Indian-made operating systems need to be adopted on a wider scale. When you look at data protection, the Data Protection Act of 2023 is the primary legal framework for data localization in India. But if that data is lying with foreign companies on which Indian laws do not apply, then we have a problem. Unless the data is localized or stored in India on Indian servers, these data protection laws are meaningless. In short, India cannot progress without a strong, indigenous and self-reliant digital infrastructure. Atmanirbhar Bharat needs to be followed in letter and spirit. That's all for tonight. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with more insights and analysis on the national security agenda.